So we welcome to the program one of the professors at the University of Missouri Healthcare. He is an assistant professor of chiropractic. Dr. Jose Ramirez joins us now. Doctor, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well also. So let's delve into this. This is springtime. Some of us are doing some things outdoors that maybe we haven't done since last springtime. And sometimes along with those chores come aches and pains. So your job today is to help us to understand when do we need to seek maybe some medical attention and when do we say, well, this is just kind of normal.
Okay. Well, symptom-wise, right, if you go out and work on your yard and you immediately start having, if you hear, like you tweak your back and you start having pain shooting down your legs, right, having numbness or tingling down your legs, then that's something that's a little beyond muscle pain, right? It doesn't even have to be sharp pain in your back, but if you're feeling those symptoms down your leg, then you want to go see your doctor. Certainly muscle pain initially can be very painful, but if it's diffuse, if you can't really pinpoint it, right, say it's all over your low back, right, the timeline would be 1 to 2 weeks if that's going to either significantly improve or completely resolve. So if you're not having those symptoms down your leg and you're just having muscle pain and you're icing and heating and you feel it's improving, then you're probably just got to tough it out and it'll resolve on its own.
How quickly does muscle pain show up? See, now if I'm thinking muscle pain, I'm thinking it's not happening necessarily while I'm doing it, but maybe a few hours later or maybe after a night's sleep, I might feel it more the next day.
It could be a few hours later up to 48 hours after, right? So you can have immediately a few hours later the next day, or you can have delayed onset soreness, which typically happens 48 hours after.
Yeah, that's interesting because I hear what you're saying. I used to always think it was going to be immediately the day after, but as I got older, it seemed like it took its time, and sometimes it would be 2 days after or 48 hours after that. It surprised me when that first happened. I thought, what did I do yesterday? I didn't do anything yesterday. Oh, 2 days ago was when I did that.
Yeah, that sounds like a conversation I have a lot every day here in my clinic.
Oh, does it really? So when you're talking about shooting pains or those pains, are those like all of a sudden you've reached for something, or maybe let's say you're on your hands and knees working in the garden and you reach over here for something a little bit a ways away, all of a sudden it was just like it would shoot right down through your back into your legs?
Absolutely. And that's a typical scenario that we deal with here in the clinic. I was reaching for my cup of coffee, or I was, like you said, reaching for a certain tool in the garden, and then either your back seat is up or you feel that shooting pain. And it doesn't even have to be all the way down your leg. It can be into your buttocks or into your hamstring.
If it is there a difference between that and what some people would say, well, I just had a spasm?
Yeah, well, the spasm, again, would be localized to that area, to your back, right? It wouldn't send, just the spasm wouldn't send pain down your leg. Now, you can have the spasm combined with that neurological pain, right? That can present that way also. But just the spasm itself, immediately you can stop what you're doing and ice it for 20 minutes or so, a couple times over the next couple hours. So you ice it up to 20 minutes, give yourself an hour or 2 hour break and ice it again. And then after that first 24 hours, you can go to moist heat, like a heat pack or a steam towel for that area, and it should give you pretty good results over the next 7 days to 14 days.
In an ideal world, would you say to those who are getting ready to go out and maybe do some yard work or something, maybe exercise or play some sports that they haven't been playing up to when it turned warmer, would you advise that they stretch? Would you advise that they do anything prior to doing that in an ideal world?
In an ideal world, you're gonna have a plan of attack, right? So you're gonna remember you're not 18 years old anymore. Okay? So you're not gonna say, hey, I'm just gonna go run a 5K here this weekend, even though I haven't trained. Right? You certainly want to warm up and stretch, but you also want to take baby steps to get to what your end goal is, right? So if you want to go start being more active, you want to go out on the Katy Trail, start biking. Don't go do 20 miles the first day, right? Keep it under 5 miles or something like that. But certainly warm up, stretch, and then in your cool down, you want to stretch also.
I think of back pain. If I started a conversation, I would guess with maybe 99.9% of people that I met today, and and if somebody would say, how you doing? I said, well, my back is bothering me. I would bet 99.9% said, yeah, I've had back problems too. I mean, that seems to be a common complaint of people, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. A lot of people have back pain, unfortunately.
But when you get to it, how many of them really need to seek attention for that?
Well, not many. And there's nothing wrong with seeking attention if you have any questions, right? If in doubt, just call your doctor. But again, if it's just localized back pain and it resolves in 1 to 2 weeks, you really don't need to worry about it as long as it doesn't show up again. Now, if you've had pain for a month, 2 months, and it hasn't gone away in a 2-month period, then now you have a chronic problem and you should go seek help.
Anything else you want to tell us about this? Because I think it is good to bring an attention, and I think you simplified it pretty well for us very early on, and that was the difference between what you would experience. If it's kind of a muscle pain, it's going to be more isolated. It will ease up and be okay after a while. If it is a pain that seems to shoot down and radiate from the spot on your back, it doesn't have to go, as you said, doctor, all the way down your leg, but if it is a kind of a radiating, shooting pain, then that's a different matter.
Right. Well, the weather's great, and yard work is really, really fun therapy, right? It can be very relaxing for a lot of people. But my suggestion is to have a plan of attack and don't try to do it all at once. Take breaks, right? And then, and you mentioned being on your hands and knees. That really is smart of you. That is the best way to do your gardening when you're digging things up, is to be on your hands and knees, not bending over, not even sitting, right? And then even change what you're doing, right? So maybe do a little mulching for 20 minutes and then go pot some plants for another 20 minutes. Don't do all your mulching all at once.
Well, I like those. Those are two really good suggestions. I hadn't thought about it. Being on the hands and knees is a better way even than sitting, and especially more so than leaning over. And then what you said is to vary it up. I've been guilty sometimes of spending too much time doing exactly the same thing and just scooting around along the ground, just moving to the next weeds that need to be pulled or the next plant that needs to be planted. I think those are good pieces of advice. I appreciate those.
You're welcome. Yeah, sometimes we are at fault of getting in the zone, if you will. And next thing you know, you've been doing the same thing for an hour and a half.
That's a good point. Well, Dr. Ramirez, I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for giving us some insight on when we know it's one thing and when it might be a different thing, and then how to prevent those and how to deal with them. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too, sir. Dr. Jose Ramirez, Assistant Professor of Chiropractic, University of Missouri Healthcare. He also works with the Mizzou Sports Medicine and has been with the university 5 years or so. He's been our guest.